February 19th, 2022. How's it going, guys? Got another video for you here. Seen a video today on YouTube of Teal Swans, and you guys need to check this out. Now, I'm not affiliated with any other channels whatsoever, but it's called The Great Dupe of Dating. And I just love when she just tells it how it is. And I mean, you just check it out. Like I say, it's called The Great Dupe of Dating. Definitely worth watching, guys. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk a little bit about dating. And I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that I look at. And Kansas City's not the greatest place to date here. I mean, there's lots of different issues. Lots of different issues. I mean, you got groups here. First, we're going to talk about just a little bit, just a few minutes here, about the cult groups here. Because there's lots of groups that are intertwined between the church groups, the cult groups, and they try to control everything, which isn't good. And they try to have their, hand in everybody's business complete, which isn't, like I say. But first thing I'm going to do, I'll just try to go through this a little bit. I wrote some things down here. And as we go, we'll talk about it a little bit. And the first thing I was just going to say is being open about the metaphysics and the ascension. I never see anybody out there ever talking about it whatsoever. And which I find strange. Now, I'm sure if you went like way back on when I was going to like the tarot card group or the witchcraft group or whatever, I'm sure they talk about it. But you never, it's like it's just hush hush. Nobody has any of this energy. Nobody knows anything about it whatsoever. Which I find not good because, I mean, reality here about how this is happening, it needs to be talked about. It needs to be out in the open. And people need to understand what it's all about. I mean, it's about bettering ourselves more, uh, increasing our abilities between telepathy, psychic ability, telekinesis, and I mean, we could really expand a lot. No, EE Arts does a lot of good communication about all this stuff out there, and it's all intertwined. I mean, and I'm not. I don't. When it comes to religion, I don't go any which way on any of it. I believe there is a source. There is something out there, definitely, and it does communicate. But you got your church groups that try to control. Some church groups are okay, and there's some that are not. I've seen other things when I got into the metaphysic deal, going around trying to find different information between, see here, Unity and Church of the Resurrection are some wild groups. They might be some big churches, but there's some bad things that go on in those places. Out there at Lee Summit, Unity out there. Went out there several times, and I think I talked to you guys about this before. I don't know if you know about that, but there is they have it's like a log cabin. It looks like something out of some kind of gothic deal, almost like Dracula or something. And these women would practice using the chi energy, and not for good. It was being practiced for using it on men for bad things. And I don't never hear EE Arts talk about that. And I haven't heard Teal Swan talk about it. So that's something maybe they should do a video on too. Because some of the stuff I'm going to lay down here today is out there, and there's a lot in Kansas City. There's a massive amount of witchcraft groups here. There's two neo-Nazi groups that's connected in with the witchcraft here too. All this flows together. All this is, and it's just a crazy thing here. It really is the way it's all interconnected. I mean, Just unbelievable. I'll give you one example. It was about 9 years, 10 years ago now that I went to a dance studio called Walters, and I took some dance lessons there, and basically where they do like precision dancing and stuff like that. And these groups are intertwined, some with like Unity and Church of the Resurrection. And if you don't know about this stuff and you get there and you go to these dance places and you're dancing with them and stuff like that, there's some of these groups that feed off people's energy, like vampires. They like pulling the energy because then they believe they use it for other things. They use that energy for other things to do, open portals, maybe do bad things, whatever. And Church of the Resurrection, I'd go over here off the Kansas side, off of Metcalf. There's a couple little bars over there where they had bands that you could go in and the bands were free and you could listen and you could dance and they had a good little dance floor and stuff. And it was just the women there, you'd see them do crazy things. I mean, when you learn about the chi energy, and depending, E. Arts could even go in, I'm sure he would be a good one to elaborate on this because he knows a lot about, all those different groups. And the women would sit there and they would bounce their legs up and down if they were sitting at the tables. But a lot of them learned to pull the energy by swinging their legs back and forth. And this becomes kind of odd after a while when you see a whole bunch of them if they're sitting doing it. This just isn't like a nervous habit of somebody just doing that, but they use it to pull the energy from the people. Now, I can push and pull the energy both ways. You learn in the Reiki part, like, it's supposed to flow one way through on the left side and out on your right side. A master supposedly can do it both ways. I can push and pull this energy any which way. It doesn't matter. But getting on with this anyway. They like to keep everybody controlled in those groups, even like I said over at Walters Dance. Now the guy teacher teaches at Walters is a great guy. Okay, he's actually, I believe, an ex police officer, but man, he can dance, and he can dance any kind of dance. He can dance precision from a waltz to hip hop, and if you want to learn how to dance, I'd recommend the place. It is good, but also understand where if you're in groups there, what you're going to run into. So that's something you need to be aware of too, in that. And it was really weird. Go out and dance with these people, and I'd go out and dance with ladies and stuff like that. But none of them would go out with any of the guys. None of them ever left with any. It was like they were kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like nobody can do anything on their own, individual wise, which that's weird. Okay, guys. Then it becomes a weird kind of deal. It's just not like going to, if you went to a place where you would dance and then, so it was kind of funky after a while and something like that. And I finally, I quit dancing. I still dance. I dance by myself. I like to exercise. I'm kind of like that, you take like Leak Project, it gets out there and does what is that? He does a Zorg out there, dresses up as an alien, or you got that, Gina Marie Colvin, that talks about like plasma and everything like that. It's really interesting that these people, all of the ones that have a good attitude, all the ones that look towards the future, they kind of have similarities, where these other people, it's all about controlling, which isn't good. Okay, guys. But I kind of noticed that. Gina Marie Colvin even caught my ear one day when she was talking. She said that she really didn't like, any sports that much. I've never liked sports that much. I like sports that challenges the person. Like what I'm saying, if you were, say like hiking up a mountain or riding a bicycle, racing against yourself, trying to better yourself in the sense. And I don't know. I mean, I find that challenging. I think that's cool. I think, and I mean, there's a few sports. I used to like to kind of watch some hockey. I feel that takes a lot more skill, but, the other ones, not so much. I can live without football, baseball, and the rest. It just, and there's so many people here, that's all they think about, you know. So let's get on with this a little bit. I just kind of wanted to get into this first about the groups, how they try to control everything. So you have to understand that just a little bit. That's what I wanted to talk about beforehand, because it plays a factor if you are dating out there, because these are all interconnected. So, you know, way, way back, me and my son was out at Oceans of Fun. And there was this lady that was divorced, had her son there. And we were up there on that very top. I forget what that one is at the very top where you go straight down on the water slide. We were standing in line waiting for a while, and we got talking and stuff. Real nice lady and everything. But spontaneous. Very spontaneous. And actually, she was from out in California. And the thing of it is, it's not all controlled. It's not all. What I mean by that is, like, I've had women here in the city, here in Kansas City. There was one, it was at World's Fun, that got up and was trying to, like, dance in front of me and stuff, and she couldn't even dance. It was a joke. She was making a fool of herself in a sense. And I mean, I know she was trying to get my attention, but the thing of it was, it wasn't natural. I'm looking for somebody that's real, not somebody that's, pretends. And that's why I said, check out Teal Swan's YouTube deal on this. And like I said, I'll do it again, as say, the great dupe of dating, because it is important. And she lays it on the line from everything. I mean, she talks about it all, about not lying. She talks about sex. We're going to talk about a little bit of all this here real quick too, because all this other BS that goes on here is just BS, okay? So, what would I look also for in something? Okay, let's see. I would think being honest about things that you do. Now, she talks about this in her video, and how so many women will do anything. They'll dress up and they'll put out, if it was sex or anything else, but then some of them hate sex. See, I agree with that in the sense they should, if you like sex, you should say you like sex. If you don't, then they should say that too. Bottom line is, it needs to be out there, I mean, I'm a Sagittarius. I like sex. Of course, any guy, they're going to say, any guy likes sex. Well, yeah, probably any guy likes sex. But can the guy satisfy the lady too? That's a whole other issue. Are they the guys that, are there 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then gone, But she goes into detail about that. Check her video out. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with any other channel, but check her deal out. And let's see here. Oh, and we'll talk one other thing about sex too. Do the women have to get high? Do they have to get high to be able to have sex with a guy? See, I'm not looking for anybody that does drugs. So, I mean, that eliminates a lot of people here, right off the bat. Because, I mean, if they got to smoke their weed, they got to do their other stuff. And it's just amazing. I mean, some of the stuff here too, how the women have let themselves go. I mean, so many of them are so obese and overweight. I mean, I'm looking for somebody at least, like I say, about 46 years of age, probably about 15 years younger than me, because I move all the time. I try to get in 4 miles a day. Now, if I was out in California, I wouldn't mind having somebody maybe my own age, but not here, not Kansas City. Because I've had ladies that I went to school with that basically, even 10 years ago, said they were done. They were done pretty much with the guys, done with having sex and everything else. And it's like, well, that's fine. I mean, but, guys enjoy stuff too. So, I mean, that's fine too. But be upfront about it. Just be upfront. And if you women don't like guys, don't go out with them. That's another thing. There was a lady, There was some of these ladies. Just there are men haters out there actually, and there was this one Russian lady that was in this in the went to these dance deals and stuff, and the other guys they already knew about her, and I mean some of these guys had lots of money. Some of them probably had $1 million in the bank. And that's not me, and I'm always up front. I'm just a poor guy, you know. Bottom line, I'm no, you know, I'm not going to BS nobody on anything. But these guys, some of the guys had it, and they had all said, you know, they had taken them out and stuff, and taken her out and stuff, and you know, basically she was just using all of them. So it's something that you need to be aware of too, which is just crazy. I mean, you know, I just think it's insane. You know, if you can't be spontaneous, if you can't be open about things, then it's bad stuff right off the bat. You know, it's going to end in a disaster, definitely. Okay, something that I really think is important is common practice. And what I mean by that is like something like hiking, walking, exercising, swimming, something that I try to do every day of something, okay? Try to find a common ground with that other person like that, where, you know, they also do something like that every day. I mean, that's going to keep you connected more with that person. I mean, the thing of this is people lie about things so much. Now, my ex, when I first went out with her, and she was overweight at the time even, she told me that she could swim. Now, this is just a prime example. Okay, this is a prime example of something about people lying about things they shouldn't. Now, guys, like I told you, I had lifeguarded for, you know, a couple years and stuff at different places and stuff back when I was younger. And we went out to this one lake and we took out one of these paddle boats. And actually, it was out at Lake Chacoma out here. And we get halfway out in the lake, and one of the pontoons spring a leak. Well, it leaked so quickly that it flipped over. Okay. So I just start, you know, after we flipped over on it, I just started swimming to shore, and she had told me she could swim. Well, she started screaming, I can't swim. I can't swim. So I had to swim back and get her over up to the other pontoon to where she could hold on to the pontoon until we could get to the shore. Till somebody helped us, another boat come by. So here's just another prime example. I mean, all these women out here, they want to lie about things, but you can't just, you know, it can also bring bad things. You could be in danger even, you know, if you lie about stuff like that. Now I got a good black friend. It's out west that was in the Navy. One time we had a big swimming pool out in our backyard, and we'll just put it this way: he couldn't swim either, and he went in the Navy. But I think he learned how to swim. Anyway, but the thing of it is, you want to be spontaneous about things, definitely so. Um, oh, here's another one. Do you like to talk, or are you quiet all the time? I mean, the thing of it is, sometimes, here's another thing like what Teal Swan was talking about. Sometimes these women will talk and they'll start talking, which is a good thing. But then once you start dating them, they just clam up and they just sit there and they don't want to talk no more or anything. I mean, do you like conversation all the time? That's important too. Another thing I was going to talk about, are you finicky about food? Now, what do I mean by that? I can pretty much eat almost anything. But these people, some people are so obsessive. They just can't eat this or they can't eat that. Well, that's not for me. I have to have somebody who can just go any which way on anything pretty much because that's just crazy. I remember back in school, back I was in was a group of people. We were going to go to it was a place called Pizza Inn. It was another competitor, Pizza Hut. And anyway, this one lady, anyway, she said, so well, she said, if you guys don't go to Pizza Hut, you guys can just drop me off. I'm not, I don't like, Pizza Inn. I just can't. And if you can't flex some, if you can't, I'm the kind of guy I can eat a T-bone steak or I can eat a hot dog, you know. But there's so many of them out there that can't. I mean, but I think about all this new stuff that's coming, and even with the stuff of being able to survive, I don't see it. I don't see how they're going to do it. Okay, let's see what else I got here, guys. Let's see, I talked about the spontaneous. Oh yeah, do you have to? Yeah, when I said about spontaneous, also, do you have to be on a schedule? Now, schedules are good. Like, say, if you go on a trip and you want to make sure that you make it at certain places and you get the most out of your vacation sometimes, yeah, that's great. But, can you be spontaneous at other times and just say, hey, let's go, let's go do this? I mean, like me and my son, we went out there to that Christmas lighting, kind of like out there at Lee Summit out there at that Parks place out there. When I said, hey, let's just run out there, let's go do that. I mean, I've been around ladies that are like, oh, I don't feel I can't do it. I got a headache. Oh, do you have headaches all the time? Hmm. I don't have headaches very often. I go a lot. And let's see here. Oh, and this would be something that to me that's really important. Do you still have that inner child in you? Hold on, guys. I'm looking here. I wrote a lot down. Where you can look up at the stars at night with hopes and dreams for the future. Are you just done? Because if you remember what I said about some of those other ladies I'd heard said, that was 10 years ago. They're done. They're done. They're done with men. They're done. That's it. Mm. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, there's lots of different things here. I'm always a positive person. And I mean, I like to explore. I like to go do different things. I mean, you can tell if a person has that mentality or not after you talk to them for, an hour or two. Because you can tell if they're not that kind of a person and they're not outgoing in the sense, not outgoing, what I mean by just, being out there around people, but being able to theorize about different things and stuff like that. And like I say, I'm looking for somebody also with this energy too. And that's another hard sell too, to find somebody that's actually got that's progress. I'm talking about somebody who can just sit there and pull energy. Because see, I mean, the women here in Kansas City, they think they're the only ones that can maneuver the energy around. And there's big fights on that too, between the witchcraft groups and the voodoo groups and all the other groups. And you wouldn't believe. I mean, here you go. And the church groups using it too. Interesting stuff though. But I better not leave that out. You remember I told you that they tried to pull energy in the Church of the Resurrection and Unity. Unity, it's like, and then the thing of this is, I mean, the witchcraft want, like you get in these groups and they want to hold hands and you have somebody that's actually controlling the whole deal. They want to try to pull that energy from that other person. and become stronger with that energy. So that's just another thing too that you have to be aware of, and that makes it a little bit harder dating, guys. Yeah, it makes it a lot harder dating because finding somebody that's honest and true, somebody that actually wants to find out about this stuff. That's just like a couple days, E Arts was talking about the biblical stuff, and they do great work. I think they're good too to listen to and stuff. I think, but I think some of this does intertwine. I mean, I'm like that inner child. I'm like that little baby looking up and like, wow, what's this? I don't go any which way on any of this religion. But like I said, a few days back, I had a vision of a place over in Israel. Now, I've had a couple, three. I've had a couple other visions where actually, it looked like I'd been reincarnated a couple times. Uh, I actually had seen myself over there in like a kind of like a Egypt over there on a pyramid, and I was like an ambassador, and I was standing by this princess, and interesting stuff. But I'm looking for somebody that has that ability, that has stuff like that can actually. And then, like I say, hold on, guys. Okay, I'm back, guys. Anyway, I had somebody at the door. It was the mail woman. But where was I at? I'm looking for somebody that has that ability, but it's not in a group. So that's going to be hard to find. Because they're all groups, massive groups here in Kansas City. So if they say not, they're full of BS. Because there is. And the church groups use this energy. The witchcraft groups use the energy. The qigong groups use the energy. On and on and on. And it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. But something what's even more crazy are some of the things that I see, and I still would like to talk to E Arts about it, or Teal Swan even. Of course, I mean there you go again too. E Arts is backed up for 3 weeks, and Teal Swan. I mean it does cost you to talk to her and stuff. So I mean, but the thing of it is, I get to wonder about this energy that like I say, I don't know if you guys also remember me talking about off the aluminum light poles, and this has been going on for several years now. I can see auras, and I can see a field of energy. Now the witchcraft bunch believe it's like some kind of German kind of Viking deal for fighting, and it's like a borderline or something like that. The witchcraft does. That's their take on it. My take on it is something else. I believe that we were given this ability by certain somebodies out there to be able to survive and make it through whatever's coming. And I would like to know what this energy is. And I know it's expanding, and I don't think it's good. I think it's damaging. I think it's energy that we can see with our eyes to avoid too. But I'd like to find, several times I put a deal out there in the last few years to try to see if I could get anybody else that could see auras that could actually, get with me and go out and look at these poles and see what they thought about them. Never nothing. Interesting, huh, guys? I find that interesting because everybody is is hiding from everybody else, and no information's getting out there. I don't know. It's like that Noah's Ark, right? Well, I guess if some of us there can see, I guess we'll survive. It's a shame though. Watched an old movie a couple days back. I don't watch very many movies. I do like sci-fi. Like the zombie movies too, like watching them. My son had never seen the Stand from 1990. I think it was 1994. Guys, get a chance, watch it. It's still as good as it was when it was made, and the first go around. And it might give some people some perspective of some things too. But anyway, guys, still having fun, and eyes open, and have a great day. And like I say, don't forget that Teal Swans, like I say, check her deal out. The Great Dupe of Dating. Great Dupe of Dating. Anyway, guys, have a good one.